Turning now to a hearing set for August 11th before the full Court of Appeals in D.C. in the case of former Trump National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. The court will rehear the arguments over the Department of Justice decision to drop the government's case against Flynn. The judge in this case is Emmett Sullivan. He said he wants the hearing to find out the reasons behind the government's decision. Flynn's attorney, Sidney Powell, told Fox News what he is doing is unconstitutional.
It's a sad day for the rule of law. Judge Sullivan's petition for rehearing should not have even been considered by the court because he had no standing to file it. He's not a party in the case. He's supposed to be a neutral umpire.
He's far from a neutral umpire. Let's talk about it with former Trump Deputy National Security Advisor KT McFarland, author of Revolution, Trump, Washington, and We the People, which I have read and I thought was excellent. KT, thanks very much. As you know, I have long argued that Flynn was falsely accused and wrongfully prosecuted, and now newly discovered evidence shows it. The exculpatory evidence that he was innocent was hidden from the defense. Classic prosecutorial misconduct. Isn't that the reason the DOJ decided, hey, we got to drop this case against Flynn? It was wrong to begin with.
Well, not only that, I think, and you've done just the groundbreaking reporting on this, Greg, from the very beginning. It wasn't only that there was no that there was no crime committed, but then when the FBI came after him, knowing that there was no crime there, and what they tried to do was what they tried to do with me. They tricked him. They try to get you confused, and they try to get you to say something a little bit wrong, like, well, I can't remember if in that conversation we talked about this or it was the next day. And then they can jump up and say, well, you should have remembered. You must be lying. And in Flynn's case, they also held over his head the prosecution of his son. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs. I'm not a lawyer like you are. But I know what's right and wrong. Right. And it's like, what does the Supreme Court Justice Potter said? I know obscenity when I see it. Right. Well, this is just not fair that somebody has been set up and then tricked into and then extorted to plead guilty, and now he continues to be dragged through. I think what they're trying to do, Greg, is to string this along until after the election because they think a Democrat will be elected, and then they can really go after General Flynn.
And so many people in social media, and even the New York Times in an editorial said, oh, but Flynn pled guilty twice. What they don't understand is that a coerced confession is no confession at all. A forced plea under duress and threats is no plea at all. I mean, it may have been true that Comey, McCabe, and Strzok set up and framed Flynn, but it was Mueller's team of prosecutors that coerced under threat him copying a plea. And touch on this just a bit more, because you were a victim of that. I mean, they put you in a room for days and hammer you, right?
Yeah, I mean, what they did was they had all of my documents, all of my records, and then they could selectively show me what they wanted to show me, out of context, edited, out of order, and then they would quiz me on it, almost like they had the answer key, and I was trying to sort of get the answers right. And if I made a mistake, they pounced on it. What they wanted me to do in the end, based on what their questions were, they wanted me to accuse General Flynn of violating the Logan Act, which everybody knows is a joke anyway. Right. And then they wanted me to accuse the president of violating the Logan Act. Right. And I said, look, he didn't even know what that is, much less violate it. And what they wanted to do was to get everybody to go after each other, and then they would have a case ultimately against the president. They didn't care about Flynn. They didn't care about me. They were always after Donald Trump. And think about what this is. We're talking about the American justice system that's blackmailing and extorting, patriotic Americans. If they could do that to me, they can do that to General Flynn. They can do that to anybody.
Right. And Mueller and his team tried to suborn perjury. I talked to Jerry Corsi. They put him in a room and they said, sign this paper. And he said, but this is a lie. And they said, we don't care. We're going to put you behind bars for the next 10 years if you don't sign it. I mean, and he didn't, by the way. I mean, this is just wrongful, unconscionable, corrupt behavior. It's an abuse of power. KT McFarland. KT, thanks. Good to see you.
Thank you.